Hello everybody, Angel Arts here, and welcome to session 12 of Dragon Age Intervention. I am here once again with our players, and last session was kind of intense, not gonna lie. We ended on a low note, thank you, David. We're trying to be hopeful, but no, David had to put in the last word like he always does, and, you know.
He just made it bittersweet, in my opinion.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I'm okay with bittersweet. I like bittersweet endings, actually.
For today's warm-up question, it's going to be a hypothetical question.
Okay.
What if your character was never whisked through time? You never met these people, or at least not in this way. If you never got caught up in all of this stuff, if way back in session 1, things continued on like normal. However, in your mind, it works out like normal, and you were never whisked away through time. What do you think would have happened to your character instead? And would he have been happier if he never got whisked away into this? Would he have been happier, you think?
Again, clarification. If we didn't die, like things worked out in a way, because I was about to be executed.
You were about to be turned tranquil, so if you want to think of that as executed, then sure.
Tomato, tomato, whatever.
So probably you would have become tranquil, most likely, unless you can think of a realistic reason for you to have gotten out of that.
Actually, when I think about it, wasn't that all happening because of time... Yeah, I only started getting them again because of all this timey-wimey crap.
Sure. But what if you never? It's a hypothetical question. Like ignore the timey-wimey stuff. Keep it simple. Right. Keep it simple. Anyone?
All right, I'll bite.
Go ahead.
Let's see. I think that Maximilian would just like continue with his job, not really looking for any promotion or anything like that. Just being a guardsman in Denerim. Mm-hmm. Maybe Plim would have set him up with a girl or something like that, but it would probably never work out. Not any long-term relationship anyway. So in the end, he would probably die alone, but with a few good friends. So I wouldn't say he would be happier. I think he's okay. At least up till this point, before the last mission, he was happier here than he was at home.
Let me ask you this then, David. If everything that happened to Plim still happened, he still turns into a werewolf. He still goes. Yeah. He still ends up finding a girl that he ends up dedicating his life to. They get married. He then disappears. He turns into a werewolf. He comes the next time you see him. You don't know he's a werewolf. He comes back and he murders someone in cold blood in Denerim. What do you think you would have done?
I would have arrested him.
Okay.
And I would have seen him executed.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's an honest answer. Again, it's a hypothetical. So, anyone else?
Probably not getting interrupted. I don't think Leoden was in any. I think as far as like what was happening as he was being transported, I think Leoden was just there at the vault, so it's not like the whole tranquil situation that happened with Renel. So I figure he probably would have just gotten what he came for, would have gone back to his name. Why am I forgetting his name?
Kane.
I'm the guy who invented his Kane. I don't know why I was forgetting his name. I'm the one who made up his name. He would probably be going back to Kane, and I honestly feel like what would have happened was, as much as he would have wanted to give up the rogue thing, something would have kept. Not that he enjoys it still, but circumstances would still have him pressed to continue doing it. And so the whole, because I think this whole time journey thing has given him, very clearly, I think it's given him the other perspective he needs to see, that this is not what he wants to do with his life forever. and he needs to. And the only and whereas I think if he didn't go through time, he would just keep thinking that it was other people, other circumstances that were forcing him to continue to do this. I think this is helping him see that really the first person that needs to start getting their butt in gear to making that this doesn't happen anymore is himself.
Okay.
That when this all washes over, if it washes over with him returning home safely and all that, he is definitely going to be making some changes in himself first, and then start giving up the whole rogue thing.
If you were to return, your parents probably wouldn't have left to go looking for you, and they probably would still be alive.
Yes,
True.
that's also
Probably would have never met your sister. So
No.
overall, do you think?
never would have known that she existed.
Overall, which one do you think you would have been happier in?
I think he'd be definitely more unhappier if this time journey thing didn't happen.
Okay.
In the unaltered present, he would have been more unhappy.
Okay. Delwyn, or
Well-
go ahead.
Yeah, I think Delwyn would just go on being Delwyn at that point. If he didn't get whisked away into time and things like that. I think his sister being a Templar would nag at the back of his head a lot. But his objective would still stay the same. Not get caught, not get thrown into the circle. It'd be a lot more of a lonely existence.
Mm,
He'd be happier, but it's more like happy out of ignorance.
okay.
Mm.
Okay.
So while this time isn't exactly like happier per se, it's more eventful and it's fulfilling things that he didn't realize he needed.
I like that. That's a good
Yeah.
point.
Nice.
Gwenaëlle, you're last.
So I've actually thought a little bit about this before, passing a few times, actually. So, but so many different scenarios come up. But I think if he became tranquil, then he would not be happier, but he would not be more miserable. That is for sure, because he would just be
Right.
tranquil, and he'd be like, meh,
Meh. Right.
I'm all tranquil, whatever. But anyways, if he didn't get tranquil and things managed to go on and whatnot and stuff, and he managed to start playing himself, if he actually would have kept his promise after Evelyn's death and stuff that, and actually applied himself, then he probably would have started doing more with his life and whatnot. Not necessarily become happier than he was before, but he would start feeling more accomplished.
Okay.
If Evelyn didn't die and whatnot, then he would go through his life with that and stuff and keep on trying and using inspirations for that. Maybe eventually he would have, opened up a little more with that. Oh no, he might have been grown more and more comfortable in time in the circle and become a little bit happier, but he would end up becoming even more complacent and always feel like something was missing or something. He never had that catalyst, that spark that helped him be what he, that other people saw that he could be and whatnot, he believed in and believed, and would never utilize his potential because he was afraid to kind of stand up and stand out because he already felt different. But now with this and whatnot, if he would have, in this one, when he is allowing himself to feel comfortable to stand up, stand out, and whatnot, and he's starting to feel fulfilled, and feels like he has purpose and duty and learning other things about himself. He feels like a lot better and so that. So, and not necessarily, but he's not necessarily happy on that. But he will feel happy once he succeeds this. So in the end, I think it's not as much for him from that level of happiness, but a level of fulfillment.
Okay.
He'd think he'd be happy in one of the other lives, but in this life, if things go right, he has the ultimate chance of even higher true happiness and fulfillment.
Okay.
If that makes any sense at all.
Okay. I think that makes perfect sense. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. All right. So, when we left off, we were able to find Evelyn's totem, found the star medal. Gwenaëlle had his moment in the Arl Eamon's bedroom, and
That
Max.
sounds weird now.
No, not like that. I mean, we can say that Liam had his moment in the study, and Delwyn kind of walked in on him, and it was like, leave me alone. I've got to finish this thing. Just
Yeah.
so anyway, you guys are heading back. The mansion itself seems to be clear as you guys are making your way. It looks like all of the undead have been laid to rest, or at least are not. They don't seem to be active anymore. You go through the passage. Either you go through the passage. Actually, that is a good question. Do you guys go back to the secret packets passage, or do you go through the front gate of the estate?
I would like to. I guess I would go to the front door of the estate. I guess.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
The way I,
to walk through town and
well, we could find more survivors. I'm already carrying a recently possessed child in my inventory.
Depossessed child.
Depossessed.
Recently depossessed. Sorry, I should probably edit that so I don't confuse myself later. Recently depossessed. Like, maybe we could find the people who he belonged to. Like, people who could look after him, because I
pretty
don't...
sure they're there and there.
Okay, I'm saying I honestly don't think we have time nor the resources to be looking after a child while on our great time and space defying journey. So maybe find someone else. They can say, "Hey, you just survived a zombie apocalypse."
Well,
Okay,
it sounds
fine,
like
let's take the long way around with all the stinky dead bodies.
we need to roleplay this, because yeah, there's a lot of discussion. Because
Okay.
you're saying a lot of stuff, Logan, that I think Lealden needs to be voicing.
Okay.
So you guys are right now still in the estate. You haven't left yet, but you're probably have to decide what you're gonna do. Nathan is going to pipe up and ask, so back to the passageway again, I guess?
Well, it's the quickest way, and the ship's over that way, so.
All right then. If nobody says
Makes
anything,
the most
Nathan's
sense.
gonna make
I
his way
don't-
to the passage.
I think we could probably better find resources and things if we left out through the front.
Maximilian is just sulky at the moment.
Yeah,
so
he's
he
not.
doesn't speak
He's
much.
not saying anything.
He's sullen.
What exactly do you mean? Resources? Jody asks.
Well, we've seen that there perhaps are some people that may be that may still be surviving in the midst of all of the chaos that's been befalling this place. Perhaps we could find some who may or may not sort of eyeing. I don't know why I'm like shooting a quick glance over to Delwyn. May or may not reward us for completely and utterly coming to their rescue. And or B, we could perhaps loot some of these zombies or bodies and things.
I think we've all done enough looting, Jody says. I don't think we need to take any more from these people.
Right? So just a thought.
I don't know. Might as well take the scenic route, I guess.
And we will go not in search of looting, but in search of perhaps other people we could save. Rewards being optional.
Right.
Nobody seems to move, so then Liam walks forward and he starts going out the front door. At which point, Jody and Nathan look at each other and then they follow out the front door.
Follow.
Let's go.
Yeah,
You guys
I follow as well.
go
I
throughout.
follow as well.
You guys go out through the door. The gate is currently shut, but you're able to find a lever that opens it. You look around into the city, and it is eerily silent, with the exception of the sound of crackling fire in the distance. which you can actually see the glow from where you are, where the windmill is.
Is the wall of fire stopping us from getting up to the ship?
No.
Can I see that from here?
No, it's not. It's burning out, and it's not blocking your path.
Yeah.
So you are able to see the ship vaguely from where you are. You head in that direction. Liam's just going straight shot. He's not taking time to stop and smell the roses. He's just
No nonsense.
going. And Jody and Nathan are just going to follow him. But as you go, you do see that the entire place is pretty much like a battlefield. There's bodies everywhere. And as you're walking, Jody kind of shakes her head and says, "These people did not deserve this. If we had time, I would try to bury them all, but I'm afraid we need to make haste."
Well, I think letting them rest finally is a service. There's not much else we can do.
That's true, she says. When you get to the outskirts of the city, you do see that the ship is there, and the rope has been dropped for you guys to get back on the ship. Liam, however, stops, turns around, facing the village as a whole. He removes his helmet. He drops down, he sticks his sword on the ground, drops down in a prayer position, and he begins praying in front of the entire city. Do you guys continue to the rope and climb up the ship?
I wait at the bottom.
Liam's gonna.
Yeah.
Okay, Lealden's gonna wait.
I'm not going to kneel, but I'll nod my head down to Mana for a moment of like that type of thing. So I can't think of the word. It just avoided me at the last second.
You hear Lealden muttering some things under his breath. If you want to make a hearing roll, you can, if you wish to.
Liam, I guess.
Liam.
You said our names or something.
Yes.
So I will roll hearing check, I guess.
Is anyone rolling? Otherwise,
Yeah.
Gosh, dang it! My ears are.
okay.
Yeah, I'm not paying attention.
Anyone with a 12 or above?
Well, yeah, I think so. Yeah, probably. Okay, sorry.
Anyone with a 12 or above can hear Liam's catch some of Liam's words. He's basically saying things like, "May the Maker please guide these souls to you. Please watch over them and their families, and may we hope that this evil never sees the light of Thetis again." And he just keeps continuing after that, just praying for all of the people in the village and in the city. Takes about 5 minutes. At which point he stops, he gets up, he keeps his helmet off, and then he turns around, he sees all of you, he nods, and then he moves towards the ship. He walks towards the ship without a word.
Right.
Everyone climbs up the rope, I'm assuming? You get on board.
Yep.
Yeah. People will start to disperse, going to their quarters. As Liam is leaving, he starts coughing as he leaves.
Okay. Everything all right?
He says, "Yes, there's a lot of dust in that village. I think I got a little bit caught in my throat."
We should get moving to resupply as soon as possible, I say as I walk towards my chamber.
Okay.
Hark.
The captain, the captain will emerge after Maximilian leaves. So she comes to see you and says, "So it worked."
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why so glum? She asks. Did you not find what you were looking for over there?
We did.
We did. We retrieved it. Who's holding it again right now?
I've got it.
We also rescued someone.
She looks at the child that's on your back. She asks, he looks familiar. Nathan will say, Captain, this is Connor, Arleeman's son. The captain says, oh, I see. He's not possessed, is he? She asks.
No.
Not anymore.
What do you intend to do with him?
At the very least, I intend for us to deliver him safely back to
Kirkwall?
Kirkwall. I'm sorry, everybody.
Kirkwall.
I have to like click into a new mindset
That's fine.
every time I do this. Deliver him safely to Kirkwall.
We're just going to drop him off there?
Once there, I can go and find people suitable to watch over him.
Very well, she says. Vic, make haste to Kirkwall. Aye, aye, Captain, he says as he steers the ship. Good work, everyone. This mission was a success. Everyone back to your posts. And the captain leaves. We have one more, right? She asks Delwyn. Or the group as a whole. Not necessarily just Delwyn. She asks the group as a whole. We have one more, right?
Yep.
Seems like it.
That was the kind of looking for. Yeah, honestly, actually trying to remember.
And in theory, once we get this last object, all of this will be fixed, right? She asks.
In theory.
Theory.
And I'm still not there,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I can't say anything.
Okay.
Darn it.
Can't imagine people do these kinds of rituals often, so.
Of course.
Oh wait, no, I'm back. Okay, I was saying the connection got reset or something. No. I was trying to say I don't think it'll be as simple as just we hold all three and it's done.
Of
It
course.
seems like there's definitely some sort of technique that's involved.
Understood, she says. Well, let us not dilly-dally any further. And she turns to leave. You guys, it takes about a couple days to get back, maybe a day and a half, probably a day and a half, to get back to Kirkwall.
Can I go to Cogs in the meanwhile and ask about the runes?
Yes, you can go visit Cogs. He's over in the engine room as usual. You come in and he is tinkering a bit with the engine. Looks like he's doing some maintenance.
Evening, Cogs.
Oh, hello there, Littleton. Long time no see.
I missed that voice.
How was it down there?
How can I lie, it was rough.
Oh,
But,
was it scary?
a little. But
I'm so sorry. I'll tell you what. I will tell, this is what I do to make myself feel better. I will go tell Archer to put a happy face on your dinner. That always makes me smile.
I would probably chuckle a little bit and say, "It sounds good, Cogs."
I tell that to everybody else in the crew, but I think I'm the only one that actually asks for it.
Mm-hmm. Cogs, could I ask you about something concerning Rune?
Sure.
I very carefully hold out and unsheath Nemetos in front of him. Would Cogs recognize Nemetos or no other? I think he knows of Nemetos.
His jaw drops and his wrench falls onto the floor.
This seems to be a regular thing apparently with this sword.
Oh man. By the stones. He goes over and he like very hesitantly like tries to tap on it. Dink 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 dink. Whew. Is that what I think it is?
I'm going to take a guess that yes. Yes, this is Nemetos.
Oh. I've heard stories about Nemetos. Dagna used to tell them to me. I didn't
Is
think
it
it was
any-
actually real.
Were the stories good, or the trend of bad things I've heard about?
Mostly
in some
good.
places?
Mostly good.
Right. Would you be interested in helping me to see whether or not runes could be?
You're letting me touch it?
Yes, that would probably be preferable if runes are involved.
Okay. He slowly walks over and he's like shaking as he's like holding up his arms.
It's not going to swing itself. Don't worry.
Okay. He freezes into place, waiting for you to put the sword in his hands. He's just
Okay, I very gently. I don't know why I'm imagining like the sword's bigger than he is for some reason.
he's short, so it's a short sword
Yeah, so
right now, so it's not that big. It's not like Cloud's Buster sword. And you put on his. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I very gently, lowered into his hands.
This thing is infused with lyria. Oh. Can you hear that hum? Can you hear it? You can't hear it.
I'm not even gonna roll.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to hear it.
I can't hear it. No.
He can hear it. Oh. This really is a magnificent weapon. He puts it down on the table and he takes out I forgot what the thing is called. You know, the little telescope thing.
It's like an I know appraisers.
Yes, somebody actually told me what it was, and I don't remember off the top of my head. But
I saw that comment and I was like, how do you even say that?
Yeah. He's examining it. He's looking it over. After about 5 minutes, it says 5 rune slots. 5.
5?
Yes. I've never seen anything with more than 4, and even then, that's super rare.
And would any rune work with this?
Most would, but it's gonna take me longer to put them on than normal.
I understand. Well, thank you, Cogs. This has been most informative.
You're very welcome. Thank you for letting me see it.
I hope in the future we will be able to do far more than see it.
Okay. I'm gonna go to Archer and tell him to put the happy face on. He walks.
Sounds like a plan.
He walks and he's whistling.
Gosh dang, that guy's adorable.
Okay. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Okay, we've been too happy for too long. It's time for me to do the thing.
Okay.
Okay, go for it.
But also, actually, the other thing, Lillian, what did you do with Connor? He was on your back. Where is he now?
I'm just carrying him everywhere,
just
like in one of
carry
those
him
like
into
backpack things that you,
I'm-
like those little
I'm
backpack
ass-
things that you
You put the
see.
children in?
I'm assuming you didn't have it
Yeah.
on him on your back when you went to talk to Cog. So
No,
where did you?
probably not.
What happened to him? What did you do with him?
I put him in
I'd
my
offer
boat.
to take him.
Okay.
You offered to take him?
Actually,
What's it called?
I think I've locked the doors. I don't think anyone gets in or out from.
Okay,
from
so
my
don't come
chamber.
there.
Sorry.
I think I put him on the couch that I was sleeping on that
Okay.
one night in the captain's
Delwyn's
room.
just going to be flipping from the book that he took, so he's going to be reading that and reading about the Nemetos
Okay.
and the dragon and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's fine.
Okay, so he's doing that.
So he'll play babysitter.
Okay.
So yeah, kids on the couch. Okay. Has he retained consciousness at this point, or is he still out of it?
He's still unconscious. I don't think anyone's been attending to him, so no one's been like having an actual medical look at him yet. So he's still unconscious.
Do we have a doctor on board? Because I don't think we've introduced an NPC like that yet.
I'm a doctor.
Our doctor, sweet.
So are you just dropping him off on the couch and then, meh? That's it. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'll probably look over
Alright,
and get
so
myself
Gwinnell's
in
gonna-
it if I know where he was at.
Gwinnell would volunteer to
Yeah.
look him over. So, meanwhile, Maximilian, what's happening? You're locked yourself in your room, right?
Yeah. So, as evening falls, is it the morning or day or what? When we get on the ship, what
The
time of
sun
day
is
it?
probably about to set. It's about to set, I would think.
Okay. So I'm not gonna do anything until the next morning then.
Okay, so
the
you're just in
earliest.
your room. Okay.
Yeah.
How about
So
Delwyn and Gwinnell?
Well, mostly reading.
You're still reading. Gwinnell, you go to Connor. Go ahead and
Yes.
go ahead and roll me a heal check
All right.
and give me the value.
What'd you do? Roll. Dice. Too many tabs open trying to look at different things. Okay. And it's a heal check, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What's the value?
14.
Okay. Gwinnell, you believe that you would be knowledgeable enough to be able to bring him out of consciousness. He definitely needs to eat. He definitely needs to stay in bed as much as possible to regain his strength. He's nothing physically is wrong with him that a little bit of rest won't fix. But he is very exhausted and he is very hungry.
Okay, I'll probably is anyone else around or am I just like
I don't know.
My
yeah.
nose buried in a
Delwyn's
book.
in there in the book with the book.
anyway, so I'll just announce it aloud if not sure if he would hear. I was like, he just needs to rest a little bit more. Should probably get some food drink ready for him when he wakes.
Well, dinner's probably going to be ready soon, so.
Alright. Whew.
Is anything else happening in that room? Before
I sit next to the
to Delwyn.
one and whatnot and grab a book and read.
Okay.
Okay.
We're all too awkward to address the demon in the room.
Delwyn, the book.
This room is full of spirits right now. Demon is various types of spirits right now.
Wait, so yeah, I was gonna say, like, I may not be fully up to date on like the lore and stuff, but when Delwyn did all of that and became a blood mage, does she now have the demon fully like pacted with her, or
Yes.
pacted with him?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I signed the contract.
Yep.
you guys shouldn't listen to me.
Yes. Poor. Yes. Don't make me start singing "Poor Unfortunate Soul." In vain, in need.
Such a good song.
Yes. All right. Okay, so dinner comes along. If nothing else that I need to be aware of is happening, let's go ahead and roll for Archer.
So, in reading the book,
Yes.
because it's pretty much all I'm going to be doing on the way back to Kirkwall,
Okay.
would I basically get the same story?
You will basically get the same story. I mean, the book that you got was essentially a book on fairy tales that
Right.
the general public. By the way, Leo, dinner tonight is fantastic. I rolled a 16, so it's a very good meal.
Smiley faces for everyone.
Smiley faces
Happy
for
Christmas for
everyone.
everyone.
Yes.
And Maximilian is missing from that party.
Yeah, it pretty much gives you the same story that I described to you before, and
Okay.
it just tells you that has been lost and nobody's ever seen it since.
Right.
What are you reading, Darwin?
Yeah. Just a book. Fairy tales.
There is an interesting
Fairy tales.
There is an interesting chapter. There is an interesting book on the story of dragons and the power of dragons and the power of dragons that courses through their veins, that courses through their blood.
Yeah, that kind of piques his interest.
Okay.
So definitely spending some time reading that. He's kind of like reading and eating at the same time.
Okay.
Which leaves him a little time to talk.
Lealden, where are you at this moment?
Me? Well, you just said we were making dinner, so I imagine I'd still be around the kitchen area.
Okay.
Cleaning up or whatever.
All right, that's fine. You guys have your dinner, and is there anything happening before you guys go to bed?
Yes, I'm going to take Maximilian's dinner to him and leave it outside the door.
Oh.
I mean,
Are you going to leave it at his door and then knock, or are you just...
Yep.
All right, Maximilian, you will hear a knock on the door sometime that evening.
all right. I first hesitate. I'm in deep thought at the moment.
Okay.
And I probably wait about 30 seconds before I get up. And,
Yeah, Delwyn's gone.
Yeah, and open the door.
You open the door and you see a plate of food. It smells very good.
He stands there watching it for a good 30 seconds before he picks it up and goes inside again.
Okay, so he takes it and goes inside.
Yeah.
All right.
Yay.
I could still see that so thoroughly in my head, actually.
Mm.
I might need to get something to eat after this.
Is there anything else happening before we go to bed?
Well, I guess before I go to bed, I have to, since we kind of were roommates.
Find a new place to sleep.
I kind of might need to address that. I'm going to. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. I'm going to knock, quite politely or whatever, on the door to Max's room.
Who is it?
It's me.
He gets up and actually opens the door.
Okay.
Leland, I guess you want to sleep. Be my guest. I'll find somewhere else. He brushes past him and walks out the corridor.
Okay.
And that's it.
Do you do anything, Lealden, or are you just going in your?
Oh, dang it! I said something really cool, but right then I lost connection. I just saw, so I'm back.
What did you say? Go ahead, say it again.
I said, "Do you wish to feel as if you're alone? Because you're not."
He stops, looks over his shoulder, and it looks like he's trying to say something, but he hesitates. Then he just shakes his head and walks away.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna follow him.
I
Go to him. No.
was going to go to bed, but now I'm curious.
No, I'm serious. I want to follow him.
Yeah, I'm moving up to my usual spot, up on the ship, watching the clouds.
Okay.
Mm. So again, I don't face him directly. I just sort of also rest my arms on the balcony, sort of looking off in the same direction.
I let the moment, be silent for a moment before I start to speak. And I'm like, look over this cloudy night and just say, sometimes I just feel like the world is changing. You know what I mean? Around you, you can't do anything about it. Then I look out and I see this. I've looked at this view for every night that we've been on this ship. And looking at it now, I can almost think that nothing has changed. That what happened didn't happen, and we're just on our way to another mission. But things have changed, haven't they?
Yeah, can't quite escape that.
Yes. I've been thinking, Leland. I'm going to talk to you again before the next evening. I'm going to have a very serious talk with you. But I need to get control over my feelings until that point. Please, I would like to be alone, to think.
Of course, I understand.
He just nods.
And I would probably not be very good at thinking of things to say as an ending conclusion, so then I would, again, return the silent nod and then take my leave.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep, there you go.
Scene.
Yay.
Delwyn, you're still in the captain's room at this point?
Yeah.
And is Gwenail still there too, or did he leave?
I probably went to go get some food, but I'd probably be back before too long. So for
Okay.
Connor.
All right.
Yeah.
While you're not there yet, Gwenail, there'll be a knock on the door, Delwyn.
Get up. Open it up.
You open the door, and it's Nathan. He is currently, is out of his armor,
Mhm.
and he has a rather uncertain look in his face. Almost nervous. Not nervous. More like uncomfortable look on his face.
Mm.
And he says, "So can we talk?"
Yeah.
There's just an unconscious child on the bed right there. We should be private.
He doesn't enter the room. He's just going to talk in the doorway.
Oh.
And he says, well, actually, he probably would. He probably would talk inside the room, just for privacy's sake. He comes inside. One of you will shut the door. If you don't,
Yep.
he will. And he says, "So it makes sense now," he says. "Everything about why I wasn't able to get through to you."
Yeah, I imagine it does.
"I'd like to believe myself as a fairly open-minded person," he says. "I really do. Especially considering my situation. Not a lot of people understand me and my Somniari aspects.
Right.
But you have to understand, my whole sense of being who I am is because I go out of my way to resist demons and to not interact with them. Whereas you are doing the exact opposite, and that's where the major difference lies. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Don't get me wrong, I'm glad we were able to rescue the boy. But I still feel very uneasy about the whole thing. And Jody kind of does too.
I'm not surprised. I mean, if I'd have had it my way, I would have done it myself, but you know how these things go.
Yeah. Well,
It's not like I feel good about putting you guys in that position.
I want to believe you have everything under control. But you also have to understand that Jody and I were demon hunters. Slaying them is what we do. And when this whole thing is over, I'm not going to promise that we're just going to sweep this under the rug and just pretend that there's no demon amongst us that needs to be slain.
That's fair.
It's not a threat, by the way. It's just... It is what it is.
Well, at least you're still willing to see things through to the end. That's more I can say for some people.
Yeah, things got a little... Things didn't quite go very well with all that.
Yeah, I didn't think they would. In fact, if anything, things went better than I thought they were going to.
Fair enough. Anyway, I just wanted to make sure we knew where we stood.
Wait.
I mean, there clearly is... I have nothing personal with you. I just have something... I have something more personal with the other thing.
Right.
Fair enough.
Makes sense. Can't expect to change a person's view overnight.
He looks over to Connor. Walks over and places his hand on his forehead. So is he going to be okay?
Well, Gunell had a look at him earlier, so I imagine he'll be fine.
He's in good hands.
He didn't
Then he's in good hands.
Yeah.
All right then. Good night, Delwyn, Nathan says, and he sees himself out.
Yeah. Good night.
Not as long that take. I'd like imagine I probably show back up around that time. I just see him walking out.
Yeah, Nathan,
Coming
you'll see Nathan walk out of your room as you're coming up, or coming out of the captain's cabin as you approach.
Having some plates of food. Visiting Connor?
He says, visiting Lealden, actually.
Oh.
What, Nathan goes up to you and says, so, he's gonna be alright, correct?
Who? Leodin or Connor? I mean,
He
Delwyn.
thinks for a moment. He thinks for a moment and says, yes. And quite frankly, you can probably add more names to that list. Liam,
As long.
Maximilian, at least those four.
I think the deciding factor right now is if we can stay strong and together, then that will determine if any of us will do well.
Of course.
Anyways, I'm going to go get this food to Connor.
He places... Go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead. It's just
He'll place a hand on your shoulder, gives it a squeeze, and then he'll leave as you are going into your room.
I'll see you around.
Lealden. Or actually, Gwenaël, are you going to do anything when you go back inside? Did you want to?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
set up a tray. I've got a tray with the food and so that I'm going to
Yeah, go ahead. Finish that up.
wake up Connor actually.
You come inside, you have the tray of food sitting next to you. You do what you can to revive the child. Slowly, he starts to come to. His eyes open. they, despite the fact that he's been unconscious this whole time, his eyes look exhausted, like he hasn't had a wink of sleep. And as his eyes focus, he looks a little. Go ahead.
I remember something I wanted to ask you. Like, what would it be to like whip him up some medicine to help him like feel better and so that as he's waking up and everything like that?
You can do that pretty easily. I'm sure there's stuff in the kitchen.
I would have done some. Yeah, I would have done some of that while I was there too. So that. So should I make a roll for that to give him some or something?
I'm going to assume you will succeed. You'll know how to do it, especially under
For
evidence.
future reference.
Yeah.
For future reference, what is the roll for that though?
Healing.
Okay.
His eyes start to focus, and he looks a little confused, a bit disoriented, like he doesn't know where he is or doesn't know what's going on. He looks a little scared. He doesn't say anything right away. He gives you a rather quizzical look as he blinks. Where am I? The 13-year-old boy asks.
Awakening from a very long dream.
What is this place? This isn't my home.
No. But you're safe here, I promise.
He starts to ease back, and then he suddenly gets up, a little suddenly, but he's weak, so he gets up a little slowly. My father, where's my father? Is he still sick?
Out of character, I'm pretty sure he'd be like gone, right?
He's pretty convinced nobody survived. You're pretty convinced he's the sole survivor in that city.
Grinnell would take a breath in and look down to the side. You should lie back down.
But he's dying. Is he here? I need to see him.
I'm sorry. But you need to conserve your energy. Sit back down.
He is about to protest, but then he stops and he lies back down, and then he starts sniffing the food, and he turns to it and he says, "Oh, I'm so very hungry."
Yes, you should eat and drink this. It's medicine.
He'll accept the drink, and you'll begin nursing him. The boy looks absolutely famished, and he laps up all of the food, and he says, this is one of the best stews I've had in a long time.
I'm very glad to hear that.
Who are you, sir? The boy asks.
My name is Grinnell. You can think of me as a friend because I have a lot to let you know about, and I hope I can help you.
Why am I here, Mr. Grinnell?
You can just call me Grinnell. No, mister.
Mother says I need to be respectful to my elders.
All right.
Never mind the fact that you're only like 6 years older than him.
Yeah.
But you're still older than him, so...
That's why Delwyn's chuckling at this point.
Yes. He still sees you as a mister. You gotta remember, though, before, like, it's been 2 years since he's been conscious, so as far as he knows, he's an 11-year-old child. He's 13, but as far... mentally, he's still 11 years old.
Yeah.
And when you're 11 years old, everybody who's older than 16 is probably like an adult. So.
Especially in the time that Dragon Age is set in and stuff. But anyways, what was the last thing he asked now after calling me before calling me sir or Mister or whatever?
He asks you why he's there. Why is he there? What's he doing there? How did he get there?
after your father took ill, many things happened, and an unfortunate circumstance happened for you too. You may find that a lot of time has passed, and a lot of stuff that you remember from when you were last awake will not be the same.
He looks very confused, like a lot of that went over his head, and he then says, it almost looks like he's half paying attention, and he suddenly says, "Mother, where's Mother?" Are you still there, Delwyn, by the way?
Oh yeah,
Yes, okay.
he's just been sitting on the sofa.
Okay, he's just sitting there.
Gonna help.
Hill bites his lip, looks to the side, then looks over at actually Delwyn.
Oh, you don't want Delwyn's help.
Yeah, he's just looking at him, and then it's like,
You were the one who wanted to revive him.
yeah, I know.
You woke him up, so...
Well, I wasn't gonna let the child keep on
Yeah,
sleeping
yeah,
this much,
I know.
unless he needs to get something in his stomach.
Yes.
True.
Do you just stay silent when he asks about Mother?
Yeah, he looks aside and he like causes a few sounds like, and then he gets words like, "What do you last remember?"
Father, like I said, was very sick. We were trying to ask a mage to cure Father, but it wasn't working. Mother says to not worry. He said that Father was going to be okay, but I could tell that she wasn't sure. So I went back to the mage to ask if there was anything he could do at all. I begged and pleaded him, and he said that there might be something that he could do, but it would be very risky, I think he said. I can't remember anything after that.
I see. Well,
Please, Mr. Gwinnell, when can I see my mother and father?
I'm sorry. I don't know how to answer that.
Let's try never. You screwed up, and you screwed up bad, kid.
He turns over
Delwyn.
to Delwyn, and he notices Delwyn for the first time. Who are you?
That is my friend Delwyn.
I don't understand, he says. What did I do?
Well, answer me this question. When did you realize that you had magical ability?
Yeah.
He looks down on the ground, and he doesn't respond. He doesn't say anything.
Oh, it's fine. We're all mages here.
Yep.
Really?
I do that freaking thing from Dragon Age.
Yes. He says, Mother told me never to talk about that to strangers.
Right, because then they might ship you off to the circle, and... Yeah, I get it.
She said that people would understand. She said that I needed to keep it secret, or I wouldn't be able to see them again.
My mother told me the same thing.
But you two weren't taken away.
Well, his is an interesting case.
Yeah. I was sent away after a while. I was out of the circle for some time, like yourself probably. My friend over here, Delwyn, he's never been to the circle. Maybe he was at the circle to throw eggs at it or something, but
He nods. So were you two able to save Father then?
By the time we arrived, it was too late. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
He's still adding it up. He's still like the gears are churning, but he hasn't gotten to the solution yet. He hasn't.
I don't know who taught you, if anyone. If you were just allowed to play with your abilities, did anybody even tell you?
Yeah, Mr. Jowan was teaching me how to use them.
Sure. Yeah.
And did he tell you the bad stuff?
Bad stuff? What bad stuff?
Oh dear.
To Winter and blood magic and demons. Bad stuff.
He shakes his head.
Yeah.
Magic. The gift of magic is, yes, a gift, but is riddled with risk and danger if one is not careful. It was very negligent of an, I would hope, experienced mage to not inform you of such.
Okay. So, let me retract my statement earlier. You didn't screw up. Your teacher, however, really screwed up.
Where is Mr. Jowan?
Don't know what he looks like, so I can't say.
Yes.
What do you mean that it was too late, Mr. Gwinnell?
Your father was ill. He and others did not make it.
Again, telling an 11-year-old boy they didn't make it, I don't think he understands.
Oh boy.
Being subtle with an 11-year-old
I
isn't
know.
really gonna help. He looks
I
at
know.
you, he doesn't, again, it's just going
I'm
over his...
sorry. He takes a deep breath and he goes, I'm sorry. He's gone.
Gone where? Can we go to him then, please?
He's passed.
He doesn't understand.
Right, so you either be brutal or just have a go right up.
Okay.
You pretty much
The-
have to be
the
straight
bad
to the
Go in.
point.
stuff. The bad
looks
stuff I
like
was
that one
talking
again.
about before. See,
I cannot.
the bad stuff happened, and it killed a lot of people.
The sickness killed more people?
I don't know.
Are you saying that father is dead?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm sorry.
He tears start to well up in his eyes and he starts to whimper. And he begins crying. The little boy just lets it all out. And he just says, I want mother. I want my mother. Please, why won't you let me see her? Please.
Unfortunately, I do not know what her fate is. But if what I saw there was an indication, she may be with your father as well.
He starts to look a little confused by that, and then he begins to put two and two together.
I use my hand and put it on his shoulder.
And he just continues to cry. Tears are streaming down his face. His nose is starting to run. He's just letting it all out. He's just a wreck right now. And you try what you can to comfort him, but Like this is, it's
Yeah.
hitting him right now that
Yeah.
he's. And the little boy says, "So I'm all alone. I'm all alone now."
No.
If I give my magic back, if I give my powers back, can you please get my parents back? I don't care about magic. I don't care about my abilities. I just want them back.
Gwinnett actually has kind of like a big shocked face on his look and whatnot, because I'm sure he's made like those same exact words before when he was being shoved off to the circle.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Can't give back what you were born with.
And it is not because you had magic that this has happened.
This isn't fair, he says. This isn't fair, this isn't fair, this isn't fair! He yells out.
No, it's not fair. It's especially not fair for it to happen to you.
The boy will continue to cry, and he essentially is going to... He's still weak, so he'll essentially cry himself back to sleep. He'll essentially get so exhausted that he'll just start to sleep. But he's very downtrodden.
Well,
Okay.
could have gone worse.
It definitely could have.
Oh man, if I ever see that kid's teacher, I'm giving him a piece of my mind. And then I'll give him the other piece too.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one.
Can I continue on, or are you guys still conversing?
Yeah, I'm pretty much done at that point.